Well, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, we have four of us on that were participating in the meeting yesterday with the Red Dragon. I asked that we do it today because I was connected to the computer for a long time and I needed to get away from it for a while yesterday, so we're doing it today. And we've just been in discussion actually for the past hour in preparation for this, but we had quite an interesting meeting that continued where we left off the previous week about the gifts of the Spirit, specifically speaking in tongues. But then we went into something that was very, very interesting and very moving to me personally, as I shared in the video that I did earlier this morning. And that is, we prayed prayers of forgiveness for not only ourselves, but for the groups that we represent. And we did our best to represent as many of the groups as possible that have been active on the earth and creating the world that we live in, the world of confusion, the world where people are at each other's throats, including religious people at each other's throats and saying, my religion is better than your religion. And it was about repenting for all of this arrogance and all of the results of this self-centered, egotistical attitudes that somehow we think that we are isolated from each other and that we're not part of the same creation that God made. Anyway, it was very moving to me, and I'm going to ask each of the people to share their particular experience in whatever they feel led to say about the process that we're all going through in trying to get our hearts and our lives aligned with the principles of Spirit that will bring unity and reconciliation to all the people of the planet and allow us to experience literally heaven on earth. So who would like to go first? I'm going to just leave it up to you folks rather than call you out, although I will call you out if nobody volunteers quickly.
I think that we would recommend, if Jace starts, let's the lady start first. And then we will follow with real change after that.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Jace.
Thank you. Hi, Ron. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, yesterday was quite an amazing day again, being in a gathering with believers and people that have given their hearts to something greater than themselves and that are committed to serving humanity. We continued with our discussion on speaking in tongues. And what I've gathered so far is that it's really a step of faith. You kind of have to just jump into it and really experience it. And it's not at all like a lot of times you believe that it is. But I think it's a personal experience for a lot of people. What was key yesterday was that the Red Dragon spoke about praying again in spirit, and how when you pray in spirit, you seek the spirit of truth in your life, and that God knows exactly what it is that you need, and he goes about providing that for you in what it is, in a way that you can handle it. And most importantly, he also touched upon the point of discerning between authentic and inauthentic tongues, which I think for the most part, for a lot of people, it's hard for them to believe when they hear somebody speaking in tongues, because they don't really know whether it's real or not. But he spoke about the fruits of the Spirit, and he touched upon the importance of living the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. I mean, these all just sound amazingly great, when you live your life day to day and you seek these things in your life. But a lot of times they sound simple, but they're very difficult because issues come up, because things don't go as we always plan. Because we lose our jobs, or we're going through a tough time in a relationship, because we lose a family member. And so when you really kind of look at these individually and you try to feel them out and see what they mean for you in your life, especially the one about self-control, it's just so hard at times when somebody says something that doesn't feel right, or look right, to just act out, and we forget the importance of self-control. Then he went he focused on the 7 qualities of the Spirit of God. And I found this amazing to review with the group, because we all know them, and we've all learned about them in the past. But when you actually key in on them and what they mean for you in your life, it's a completely different experience altogether. When you are going through training like the one that we're going through at this point, I found that something that the Red Dragon stated was that if you live these truths, if you live these qualities of the Spirit of God, then you are on your path to being able to really connect with Him directly in spirit. And for all of us, I think that we're part of this group yesterday, that's what we were seeking. He touched upon the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge, and the fear of the Lord, but not in a sense of being afraid, but fear in the sense of respect and adoration, worship of the Father. And then we went on to doing the work that you mentioned earlier, where we took on asking for forgiveness for past generations of various denominations, and I prayed on behalf of Catholicism. And when I initiated the prayer, I felt that I was prepared for it. But once I was done with the prayer, and then we continued on to praying over fear and stress and anxiety and distortion and ignorance and lying, it was a lot to take on. And I felt after the session like I needed some time in prayer. And I was praying and I was intervening even after we were done. And I found that it was not till I actually started worshiping and praying in the evening, was maybe
Jace?
in tongues. And yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We lost you for a few seconds anyway.
I'm sorry about that. And no, what I was sharing with you was that it was until about 8 or 9 hours after this all took place that I was in worship and prayer that I started speaking in tongues. And when that happened, all of a sudden I felt like I was able to process a lot of what I took on when I prayed over Catholicism, which included oppression, guilt, suppression, repression, and taking authority over these energies and demolishing the strongholds, the chains, imprints that they're present in our generations and have happened over a period of generations, and all the suffering behind that. So, at first when we did it, I think that people were just praying and kind of feeling something, but then soon after and kind of, took authority. But I don't know if other people that experience what I did, but I just think Catholicism had a lot to clear over generations of the various actions that have taken place in the name of God. And we prayed about that too, in the actual prayers, asking the Father to forgive us for all these deceptive actions that have been taken place over generations in His holy name. We also prayed over the spirit of distortion, which I find key in just clearing the space so that people can actually listen and hear with their hearts and with their spirits and not with their minds, because a lot of times the mind is a battlefield, and if you start questioning things in your mind, then it bypasses, it doesn't get to your heart, it bypasses the whole purpose. So that was kind of my experience yesterday. I think it's important when you are seeking self-transformation on any level to really just focus in on these good guidelines of how to live your life and live them and just be a good person, and once you start seeking that, at least that's what I got yesterday. If you stop lying and you stop cheating and you stop and and you start being faithful to yourself, then it's easier to be faithful to others. And it really starts with a relationship within, and realizing that God is within you, and you can seek His perfection on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you very much. I think it's important that you emphasize the importance of fruits of the Spirit. A lot of people say that they're spiritual, or they're Christians, or they're Muslims, or Jews, or whatever religion. But if they don't have the fruits, of which love is actually the fruit of the Spirit, and all the others are fruits of love, as I see it, we become, as the Bible says, a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And it doesn't really mean much if we don't love one another. Anyway, Michael or Mr. Ambassador, do you want to go next? Either one of you?
I'm going to jump in here. Thank you for having me on your show today, Ron. And thank you to all who are taking the time to listen. It means that you are awakening and you're seeking the truth, which is what we're all doing. None of us have all the answers. Let's put that straight out there. None of us have arrived to that point of nirvana where we're all seeing, all knowing. But we have the tools. And we're being equipped with the tools because we're seeking what is divine. What is divine that is in all of us. God said we're made in His image. So when we're talking about these spiritual things, this is a spirit that we're seeking. We're trying to rid ourselves of the spirit that is the 666, the deception, all of the negative energies that are within us. Seems naturally as being part of, infiltrated or polluted by this world, and filling ourselves with the things of God, as you said, which are the fruits of the Spirit: the love, the peace, the joy, gentleness, and self-control. And we're not trying to, I just want to make this very clear to everyone, we're not trying to be religious. That's none of our intent. We're not trying to convert anyone to any particular religion. We're just trying to point out our one God. And He's the creator, and He's the one that has love for all of us. No matter what you heard or what you may believe or what someone has done in the past, and this is one of the things, speaking of past, that we prayed yesterday, was forgiveness. Now, it's, and a lot of this is not just religion, it's racism. I was on one of the social media networks this week, and I saw this one, angry person. And it was talking about his race being put down. He was trying to incite violence and such. And I try to talk to him with love, joy, and peace and understanding. And I'm sorry if people feel they have been downtrodden. There's no doubt that they have. But they have to understand that God is with them, that the divinity is with them, and the tools are with them to overcome these lies, these aggressions that have come across. Now, you may say, oh, well, you sound like, okay, I'm white. But if I look at my whole family lineage, there's not many races or ethnicities that are not part of my very fabric. I'm part Chinese, I'm part Persian, I'm part, African, I'm part Native American, I'm part European, I'm part Nordic, it goes on and on and on. And, at some point I have to realize if I got here, then it had to be a couple of races that had a night of some good passionate love that they shared. And if you sort of realize that in your own selves, that's probably how you got here too. So, which side of me do I hate? Do I hate, let's just say, here being an American, do I protest against the Europeans who aggressed against my Native American ancestors? Or do I, who's at fault there? Well, the fault is the negative side that is in all of us. I can't tell you who started what. And if we're going to dwell on what's happened in the past, then we're going to live that same negative energy expounded many times over, and we're never going to get anywhere as a human race. And this is the thing. We're one race. We're a human race. We're all in this together. We either destroy ourselves or we propel ourselves forward with the fruits of the Spirit. And I just want to say to everyone today, it's not a religious act to forgive.
No,
it's a divine act. So I just ask everybody to take some moments, and to forgive others. Forgive those in your ancestry. You don't have to understand what they did. I mean, it could be he said, she said, sort of scenario of who started what. That doesn't matter. Let's see where we start today. What are you starting today in your own life? This is what I challenge all people to say. Where are you going to start today? Let's put the past behind us. Let's put these differences behind us. Let's embrace God. Let's embrace the fruits of His love, His Spirit, and let's move forward so that we can enjoy the prosperity that He wants to bring to us, that is awaiting us. We've got to go forward in that race. We've got to finish this race. It's for all of us. And I know how we all started in this pretty much some months ago, is looking about the prosperities to come, the prosperity that the Dragon family has as custodians of the wealth that was given to them by the Almighty to disperse in this Jubilee year. But what are we doing as ourselves? What are we doing as a community? What are we doing as a human race to be worthy to receive this? It's not a thing of, well, I'm dying, I'm starving, I'm not doing well, I'm getting behind. I'm right there with you. I'm nobody special, but my trust is in the Creator and His provision, which He promised me, whether it's, no matter where it comes from and what amount, that's not the thing. He just said His provision is going to be sufficient for your need in all cases because I focus on Him. It's not a religious act. This is a divine promise to each and every one of us. So I just encourage everyone, let's put past, pray for forgiveness for our own sins, for our own iniquities, for our own transgressions, whatever you may want to call it, our own negative energies against someone. We've all said things we shouldn't have, me included. We've all done acts of things that were grievous to others, grievous to the Spirit of God. And I just say, ask for forgiveness for yourself. Ask for forgiveness for your ancestors. Let's move forward as a one race, as one people with divine purpose. And let's just move past all of this negative world that is entrapping and enslaving us. And this is my prayer. Amen.
Thank you, Michael. Mr. Ambassador, we want to hear from you, of course.
Yes, I was listening to all of you, and also I wanted to share some things that I haven't shared in the past, with many people, because I didn't want to make this platform an arena for myself, and as I said from the beginning that I come in and basically just activate the different parts, and then it would be taken over guidance by other people. As a messenger between the nations and between the people and between the different families, I'm just here to invite to the remittance and to the divine plan of 555. And that's basically which was my mission. But I want
remittance, Mr. Ambassador, to people that may not understand the meaning of that word.
Remittance, that is related not only to the family, it can be remitted to everyone else. It's basically that we basically give back, it's something that was given to us back to the Creator or back to the source, and basically we're settling from the beginning, Now we're talking about Jubilee and freedom, and I wanted to talk about this because this is very much related to myself, being a family, being a part of this structure for most of my life, also being a part of governmental institutions, controlling, interfering in world's daily lives, in legal matters, in life and death questions of people. And I was a part of the deception myself. I was a part of the controlling fraction of humanity and of my nation. I committed crimes against myself, and I committed negative things against other people. I was programmed, like most of the people, to believe that this is what is right to do, because we need to protect the people. But who do we need to protect the people for? Who is the ones that need the protection? Okay. In reality, we are protecting our leaders, our governments, and not the people. It's like when I stated to you, Ron, that it was a terrorist threat coming out, and the country became all hysterical not long time ago. And a person was asking me very worryingly about it, and I stated to this person that you don't need to worry, because if it would really be a threat, you would not know about it. And I think that says a lot of the world today. And basically, the thing that we need to realize is that no race, no people, no religion have what is called the unique authority of suffering. Okay? Once people, nations, or any people do not have, I don't know what is used correct English word for it, but like the patent, okay, of being a victim, of being the only one suffering on the planet. And that should justify aggression against other people, and we should not even question this aggression. That's a part of the programming that we are, seeing on the media, seeing as we're growing up, that we are trained, basically brainwashed in school, that our country is the best country on the planet, and our religion is the best religion, and everyone else is frightening and bad, and this political structure is a bad political structure. And it's like I stated, we saw here now a few elections in Europe coming into place, and I stated to you, Ron, that what would be the outcome of some of these things, and I was stating that already a long time ago, and it became like this because it's all fraud. Okay, basically the will of the people is not respected by the so-called corporations or governments that run these countries. Okay, and I think the hypocrisy of people, and this is like the Red Dragon stated to all of you, that that the ambassador is allergic to ignorance. Okay, and the thing is this way: it's not like that I'm trying to say that I'm smarter than anyone else. I think that I'm just more awake into deception than many others, and that I have stopped submitting myself to the programming and submitting myself to what is supposed to be right. Okay, that comes to the same thing with my faith. Okay, I was originally one faith, and I transformed into another faith. I believe in the Creator. I believe in God, and I follow the teachings as best as I can as a person. Do I commit wrongs in my life? Yes, I do. Like anyone else, we all daily are submitted to temptations and to interaction of sin. Today, it is as in the end times, we cannot even live our life without committing a sin. Every single second, as soon as we want to do something, we are committing a sin, according to the religious scriptures. And that's what that's what is in our lifetime today. And it's like I stated. It's like, for example, you see now what's happening in the world. You have people that states that it was Putin blowing down the Malaysian Airlines. Okay, have anyone produced any evidence about it? Have everyone come with any clear conclusions into anything of this fake attempt there to discredit a person? Of course not. It's the same thing with Osama bin Laden. Okay, now we have a new boogeyman, which is called ISIS. Okay, which the Western world created. Okay, and basically the only reason why people suddenly now in America and in Europe suddenly cares for ISIS? It's because a few European people, so-called journalists, were beheaded. What about all the people being bombed to pieces, millions of people being killed in barbaric acts and tortured and kidnapped and extorted without anything else than just financial gains? What type of hypocrites are we? Is it because they are only because they are white that we're now suddenly supposed to care? You understand? The hypocrisy of people. One day I should tell you a little bit about how government works. Okay, because I was a part of it. How security services work, because I was a part of it. It's a big lies and hypocrites. And this is a part of the deception. And this is what I wanted the people to wake up from, this programming, which I call ignorance, and see through the deception. You know, what makes one life more worthy than another life? It's time for the Abrahamic religions on this planet, okay, to stop terrorizing the world. Okay, we have been suffering enough. Humanity had suffered enough under your tyranny. Okay, you are now, Christians are being victims. Really? Okay, Jews are being victims. Really? Muslims being victims. Really? Yes, all of them are victims. Victims of ignorance, victims of programming, victims of stupidity and stupid leaders and ignorant people that has been using us as puppets, playing on our emotions, playing with scriptures, playing with everything. Turn back to the book. Turn back to God. Okay? Ask for forgiveness. Okay? Create the Jubilee. Set humanity free. Okay? And how? You say, oh, we're supposed to set humanity free. Yes, everything starts with yourself. Everything starts with yourself. Don't blame it on everyone else. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. Yes, I was a victim too. A tyrannical victim. But do you see that I'm sitting on my ass and don't do anything? No, I do something every single day. My life has been devoted these last years to set humanity free. That has been my duty. That has been my service. This is what I'm doing. And I'm submitted to the will of God. And my loyalty is to you people. And to our children. And to next generations. I don't care about titles. I don't care about wealth. I don't care about these things. It's meaningless for me. What is meaningful for me is to see this world transforming into what it should be inspired to be. Okay? And following the will of God. And that's basically what I want to see for humanity. And this is also what the family wants to see for humanity. And we have had too much divisions. We have had too much, things. It's not only, people will say, oh yeah, but it's other religions that is also bad. Hindus are being racist and they're having a caste system. Yes, they do. You understand? Yes, Buddhists are killing Muslims. Hindus are killing Muslims. Yes, they do. We should pray for our ancestors. We should look ourselves in the mirror and pray for forgiveness for ourselves, for our ancestors. And when we are asking forgiveness for ourselves and everyone else from all the faiths on the planet do that, and we all ask for forgiveness for ourselves and for our ancestors and for other people, then we can reconcile and we can have what we need as Jubilee. We have to stop the aggression on this planet. This war, ignorant people that you want to create, will not solve the problem. The only winners in war is the military complex and the people that benefits on war. Okay? This battle with ISIS and other terrorist organizations like United States and Europe and Mossad and whatever agencies you want to call them, or ISIS or Al-Qaeda, or whatever boogeyman we want to call, the people responsible behind the terror on the world need to ask for forgiveness, need to pray for their families, for themselves, for the coming generation, and repent. Okay? And that's what basically the world need to do. Okay? One thing that people doesn't understand is that, this, Ron, and I know Michael knows this too, that many times I was requesting to the family to be a part of a special group that basically cleansing the planet of this type of cancer. Okay? And but of some reason God had another plan, but my heart still is in that process of cleansing humanity from these evil entities that represented by 666, and whatever they want to call themselves, if they want to call themselves Cabal, if they want to call themselves Zionists, or if we want to call them Disney cartoon characters, okay, or whatever they want to be called themselves for, or royal families, whatever, you need to repent. You need to ask for forgiveness, because the situation is this way, is that no one will be able to take wealth with them to paradise, or not even to hell too, okay? And we have attorneys there too. So rest assured, okay, that we will do our best to set humanity free as long as we live. And it's not about, and this is what people have to realize, the funds were moved already. This is what the Red Dragon was talking. The funds were moved to the people, to the believers, with the people with faith in God. The funds were moved to them already a long time ago. It's time for this release. It's time for humanity to be set free. But before that, we have to set ourselves free and reconcile with the sins and with the negative energies that we have created to everyone. And the one who says, okay, that they never committed a sin in their life or bad energies to others, you're the biggest hypocrites of the planet. And if that's the case, that someone is so good, please throw the first stone. I cannot do it, and I don't think anyone on this program can do it, and I don't think anyone on the planet could throw the first stone. But we need to reconcile and ask for forgiveness. This is the first step for us to set ourselves free and basically not assist evil and not assist it in any way of supporting or promoting ignorance and hate and aggression against anyone. And as long as that thing is happening in the world, you can sit and complain and cry as much as you like, okay? We are all tested by the Creator. And we can feel sorry about all the suffering that you guys have. I had suffered in my life, and I still suffer, and I will suffer until the day I die. And I believe that it's time for us to take responsibility for ourselves and for humanity and set humanity free. Okay? And what we should do is start praying for each other. I pray daily for all of you, and I pray for Ron, and I pray for all of the calls and all the people on humanity. And you know, I never sit still the time when Ron was under the aggression, even though I was even accused for being a part of the aggression. I never stopped, as Ron know, to support and try to do my best to assist Ron. And I wish that people in the United States government will assist Ron too. And I also ask the people to assist Ron also in his suffering and assist other people that are suffering all around the world. And this is the important thing. When we start assisting each other and become brothers and sisters in humanity, then basically we are worshiping the Creator, and then we can set humanity free. That's my last word. And God bless you, everyone. And I would recommend if the people that can blow the shofar, blow the horn, and basically call the angels to support us in this battle and awaken God by the vibration of the shofar to set humanity free. God bless.
Well, hopefully God's not asleep, because God is everywhere, and I would picture God as always being awake. But anyway.
I believe so too, that he's always awake, but I'm calling for him to assist us at this time, and because it's never too late to help someone.
Okay, I know each of you have a shofar, and if you'll all just join with me, it may not sound like much, but let's give it what we've got. Thank you. Thank you. Jace, do you have any parting word?
As I get a hold of my breath here, yes, I just wanted to share something, just one last thought for your audience. Something that really touched my heart that the Red Dragon spoke about yesterday was how when the spirit of truth comes into your life, there's really no one around you that can deceive you. You know, you don't really need to reach out to anyone, a pastor, a priest, or whoever it is that you seek the truth from. The truth will be within you, and you will be able to feel it with your heart. That's why it's so important to open your heart. I know that's kind of a cliche, you know, nowadays, but I know it's difficult too at times because of all the hurt and the suffering, the traumas that we've all experienced. But if you open your heart, or at least, you know, believe that you can, and start the process, then he spoke about how the Spirit of truth, once it comes through, it will guide you and it will give you authority over anything in your life. And that will lead you directly to God, so that God can know your weaknesses and help you through the way to find your way back. So that was really touching for me, that he shared with us yesterday, and I wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you, Jace. Michael, any final word?
Been a great program. Been honored to be a part of it. I just pray for everyone that they'll put aside their prejudices, their preconceived notions. Let's move forward. Let's declare the year of Jubilee. Let's all take our action. Let's not wait on someone to necessarily come pick us up and I would say dump money on us. I've talked to so many that have said, "Oh, I can't do anything unless I have money." Yes, if you're living and breathing, you can pray. You can speak to others. You have internet, obviously, if you're listening to this, you can share, you can declare the year of Jubilee. You can all go together in like purpose and mind. Let's move, let's sweep away all this negative energies, the 666 system. Let's declare ourselves free. Let's not keep ourselves in bondage as slaves, and let's just move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ambassador, parting words?
Yes, I would like to say something to my brothers in the Middle East. Okay, A'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I wish you all to turn back to the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and do not take part in anything that is against the teachings of Islam. Okay, and do not give justification for aggression, because the people in the Middle East have suffered enough, and humanity too. So do not give 666, the Dajjal or the Antichrist, any more justification for war and tyranny. I am offering everyone my greetings of salam, shalom, and peace, and God bless you all. And that's my final words.
Thank you. And I thank each of you for tuning in and listening to this proclamation of Jubilee, and a request that we all forgive ourselves and one another for the many sins that we've gone on for generations too long. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. Namaste.